All right, so you all gear up, get disguises on, like put together, your best. We are definitely here as a as a rushed planning committee. Head on over. You kind of pass like you kind of get it like you rent a trolley or you rent a car or whatever and head out, kind of rumbling along a dirt road, and you definitely pass news. People like a quick or not a quick printing of the. I think as you get to the car, you hear people talking about the robbery down on the robbery of Hizer's diamond shop, and well, he was good. People either going, "Wow, how horrible! I can't believe someone would do this. What's the city coming to?" And well, Hizer was kind of an asshole that one time. Of like, he is enough of a dick that people are going, "I can see why someone would want to rob that guy." As you head out down this you head out of the city proper and kind of roll down a dirt road for a few kilometers until you approach the base of this honestly pretty striking um fort looming over the horizon. The sun's beginning to set behind it, casting it in oranges. It's like this multi-tiered thing where you have this giant curtain wall outside of it, and then the hill rises up inside with more buildings than that, another set of walls, and everywhere there isn't buildings and stuff that's being maintained, the jungle has kind of sprung back up to life. It's all greenery and lush trees, really big stuff. And as you approach, a car going the other way passes you, filled with what seem to be pretty perturbed European tourists who seem pretty annoyed at something. And as you come up, you see that like there's the normal tour guide there. There's also like a bored-looking guard just kind of sitting nearby, waiting. And the tour guide looks super apologetic as you park and start walking up. Just before anyone's even said anything, he's just looking like, "Oh no, I've got to do this again. Hello."
And Tyler takes in the face and then immediately looks at the other one, like, what are you about to say, and are you sure you would dare?
The fort's closed. Look, I'm really sorry. We can't do full tours right now. We can't do full tours right now. It's just there's been a bit of water damage up in the Baradar, and we really need to get the repair crews in. They've been working on it for a bit, but it's going to be a few more days, and we you can look at the outer walls. You can stay down here. You can take the photographer's still on site. I can go get him, and or I can call someone or can get someone to go get him, and you can take some pictures with the fort down here. It'll be nice.
I look at the others, and there's a beat, and then I take him by the shoulders, this tour guide. I look him in the eye and say, "You know you're lying. We know you're lying. So be honest. Why is the fort closed? And be quick."
The security guard behind him kind of stands up. It's like, okay, so this is definitely going to be an attempt to terrify this dude. Authority, exert if you have it. I think you have impossible strength, so that would definitely be a bonus D6 here, in terms of just, oh, this is terrifying. This dude has physically picked me up to ask me a question.
I do not have
exert or command, both. Command definitely works, of just browbeat this guy into submission.
You know what? I like the idea of command. So, for 46, to get the +1, and then +1 D10. Ooh, let's see how well this worked out for us. 2 successes, 3 successes.
All right. So I think, let's see. Yeah, that's definitely enough to wildly overpower this guy and make him scared of you all for the rest of this conversation. The security guard is going to stand down, but is definitely going to tell someone the moment you go in. But he's going, "The Englishman brought it. God, he brought a lot of people in, and it was, they were just kind of in at night for a while, and now it's all been closed, and, we can still show you the outer wall. We could, you could stay at the bottom with supervision, and it'll be nice, but he bought it, and he's doing something up there, and I guess he's renovating it, or making it a big manor or something, I don't know, but it's just, you
misunderstand
please,
me.
this is bad for all of us.
We are with the Englishman. Now take us inside.
Your refusal will not.
Please don't tell him I told you. Please don't tell him I told you anything.
Let us up where we need to go.
Just point us in the direction.
Okay, I'm like, the security guard's kind of taking a step forward, and this good dude turns around and goes, they're with Crossley! And he sits back down. Okay, and he goes over and leads you all into the fort. It's still pretty, so he leads you all into the, fort. It's down here at the bottom, like the sun's beginning to set, lights beginning to disappear, but you can see the, like, off to your left where, like, kind of the outermost parts of the fort were, nothing seems to have changed, but you can see work lights in some of the buildings up the hill. Like, you kind of go up a bunch of stairs. There are a lot of stairs. It's a huge complex. And the farther you go up, there are more and more lights. And the Baradar at the top, which is like this big kind of open air building that's supposed to have great acoustics. And way back when the fort was in use, there'd be like dancing there. And supposedly if you clapped there, you could hear it like halfway across the fort. And had this striking view of the entire area, like the city and out away from it, etc., etc. There's lights everywhere up as the farther you go up, but sunset's coming in, and he stops at the bottom of a staircase, that goes up the hill. He's like, I can't take you further up, but he's up there with all of the people and all of their lot, but I really can't go up there with you.
Of course.
And with that, let's see. And yeah, welcome to Golconda Fort. Has everyone changed over successfully? Yes. So yeah, you are all on this massive staircase heading up the hill. There are these curtain walls and buildings popped up periodically, breaking your line of sight kind of as you go. You're not sure which of these buildings are inhabited, but as you come up to this first lit building, this is where up to this first lit building is where like the tour guide kind of and the security guard stop and go like, neither of us are allowed farther up than this. You just go up and you go to the Baradar and he'll be up there.
What?
Why, thank you for your service. We'll happily take it from here.
All right. And they both buzz off. So as you're heading up, tell me where you're going. Like, you can move your stuff along the map. Try not to move too quickly in case something develops. But all of these buildings are like these ancient stone buildings. They haven't been electrified. So like, as you kind of peek in the door at this one right next to where you started, it's this kind of two-step stone building with what would be a curtained off area in the back right, or two-room stone building. What would be like a curtained off second room in the back of the building. Now there's like someone's left a couple of electric lamps out here that people can use, and a roster in English is on the table. Otherwise, yeah, tell me where you guys want to head.
Gonna have a quick glance at that roster, see what's on it.
All right, just put yourself in the building for a moment. So you can see there are a bunch of shift names for the night. You see like Lieutenant Kipling, you see a couple of English names, and a couple of let's see. Do. Oh. Henry. Trigger. Oh, whoops! I see what I did wrong there. Let's see. Can everyone move their tokens for a moment? Just check to make sure that this works.
Yes.
Okay. So you should be able to move your tokens and see everyone else's. You should not be able to move anyone else's token.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All those things are so.
Okay, so we've got that working. Yeah. So you see there are like half a dozen guards listed as on duty. You can see that Mr. Crossley himself has signed in today. To like, it doesn't say what he's here for, but it's just kind of shift in time, out time. And the current shift of guards signed in like 3 hours ago. And there are a bunch of workers. They don't have sign-in times. They don't have sign-out times. But it's just like 20 names on here, including Mahmoud's, that are just noted as on premises.
I think we found the missing.
Mhm.
Well,
labor.
at the very least, it seems like they're not expended yet. If that's what they're being used for.
No, it seems that they're just being used as indentures. Which That's the English.
Caller out here.
We'll
All
move
right.
ahead quietly.
All right, so you want to move ahead quietly? I'm assuming. Do you want to? So we're not in combat yet, so we don't need to measure stamina expenditure or anything. But I'm assuming you're using your ability to go into stealth, so you can move forward.
Yeah, in
Quietly.
the shadows.
All right, so go ahead and move yourself on up as you start sneaking forward, up this hill. So you kind of head up the stairs. These next set of buildings are all unlit, kind of peeking in. You can see, each of your tokens should be giving off a little bit of light. Let me double check if that is.
They don't
Oh,
let us see
okay.
into the buildings, but they just
Let me double check. Do update token. Oh, okay. I have to do all these manually. One moment. Token. Okay, you should all be able to see a little bit better as you move around. Hopefully.
sounds
Um,
fantastic.
All right. So as you all move up, these buildings are all unoccupied. As you kind of wave a lantern in, you can see that these were bunk rooms. Someone had set these up for people to sleep in when they were working here. And there are like wherever the personal possessions of the people who work here were, they're not in these bunk rooms anymore. But as you do, you keep moving up. The only person without a lantern lit is Sumin, because you are sneaking around, and having the lantern lit would be very bad for that.
Actually, Henry's not going to have a lantern on either, because
Oh, right.
I don't need light to detect the living.
Yeah,
Really?
all right. So yeah, you can
Left
see
side.
as you're passing these, like you kind of glance in the doorway, and you know no one alive is in any of those buildings as you pass them. But as you head to the top of the stairs, there's this bright patch of like greenery off to your right, kind of growing up against one of the walls of the one of the like rises where the hill comes up behind a wall. As trees and stuff have kind of started growing again. Another one off to your left, and then directly in front of you, there's a building with lights on, and then to your left, kind of beyond the bunkhouses, there's another building with lights on. And of course, at the very top of the hill, all the way at the top of the hill, the big square building you can kind of see is the Baradar, like the biggest and most impressive building in the fort. Oh, this guy should be.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a token there that's
Ignore that.
Pay no attention to the
Just
token
gonna
behind
keep creeping along.
Yeah, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Could I peek into the building just ahead of us immediately?
Yeah, sure. So
Presumably
head on
this
up,
one.
and you head up. You peek your head in the door. So just put yourself right by it, and you see inside there are a pair of local soldiers, kind of on break. They've got their guns at. They've got their guns kind of by the table, and they're currently playing dice with each other, just like gambling away a few rupees. And next to them, like much more alert and kind of hovering around the room, are what you remember as, are two sporlings. Sporlings are the most basic of Aram's fungiforms. They're like a cane toad the size of a greyhound. They've got kind of spores emitting from these trypophobic holes on their back all the time, and their mouths are filled with these thorny, like, pseudo teeth. They have the hunger and approximate empathy of a wheat harvester, and they are fiercely loyal to the soldiers they're bonded to.
Sumi's just gonna wave back at the group and be like, or 4 in there.
Hmm.
You see Tyler wave back. I just
An acknowledgement, or take him out. Or
as a suggestion, not a demand.
Yeah. I think she's just gonna say, let's peek, let's look around a little bit more.
All right, and below, to the south of you, Yumin, you see that the door to this building over here is locked. It's a big windowless building. You know from the guide map, that used to be the fort's jail. So like it's a windowless thing. It's a windowless building. Front door is locked. But there's definitely light kind of escaping around the edges of the doorway within.
No windows at all, like even on the sides of the building. If she were to,
no,
around.
this was designed so that like if you were locked in there, it was going to be very dark unless someone left the light in there with you.
What?
I like motion to Sumin and like motion one shoulder barge at the door or lock picking. And I'm gonna walk up to the door as quietly as I can.
Alright.
But I'm not as sneaky, and I'm gonna try and we'll break it apart.
Alright, so that would be patience plus espionage to like methodically open up this lock.
Absolutely. Now I do have speedy hands. Does that help?
You can use that as an aspect here, absolutely.
I like that. Let me just do 3d6 plus 1d10 because I only have 2 patience, but I have the extra. And let's see. 3 successes.
Ooh, nice. That is enough to open this up quietly and without alerting the people in the room behind you. So you pick the lock, it pops open, you push open the door and step inside. And this prison has been turned, to be frank, back into a prison. At the south end of the room, there are a dozen people like sleeping in the cells. It looks like the laborers. To your right, you can see that like their personal effects have been stashed here and what would have been like the guard room in this prison, basically. And each of the people from there is a fungal growth on the ceiling, small but noticeable, like the slime mold crawling across part of it, and reaching down from it, there are tendrils kind of plugged into the side of each laborer's neck.
I go back to the door and motion the others to come inside quickly.
Assuming we'll sneak in.
Mm-hmm.
Does this
All right.
door look familiar? Do we know what?
Yeah, this is This is definitely an Eremite spore. This is a spore colony of Aram. This is kind of, it grows on a thing, and it'll feed on like blood and energy out of people. So it's not generally lethal, but it'll infect you with spores. Like if you die, you'll be a vector for it spreading further, and it definitely weaken you. It makes you more susceptible to getting sick, etc. You've seen them back home. Like the occupation has set up some pretty nasty things here. One of the standard things Aram does, it'll set up. This is the first stage of what's called a spore pillar factory. It'll set up this enormous spire of fungal growth, and people work inside of it doing whatever. There's normally a nominal industry happening in there, and it'll just kind of feed off of people's sweat and energy as they work. And then they leave, they get paid or whatever, and, you know, the casualty, like, there are more deaths than you'd expect. People get sick more often, but it's not slaughtering the workers, it's just feeding off of them slowly over time. And this is like the first stage of that, basically. Except this is set up in a pretty unpleasant manner to feed on them even when they're not working, which is rare in your experience.
Does this thing defend itself if I were to, like, detach somebody from it?
All the other bits of Aram in a fairly large radius would know it's been messed with, and might investigate, but it's stuck with the sensory organs it has, which for this isn't much. Like, it would know it's been detached from its food.
And is one of these dozen workers Mahmoud?
Yes, you kind of take you a minute, you look through, and you recognize Mahmoud, a kind of burly man who's looking pretty sickly at this point. Like in one corner, huddled up with the blanket over himself, as this thing feeds on him.
And I'll go ahead and just like motion to everybody real quick, like mood, like that one's Mahmoud. And after a quick head count, there were 20 on the ledger and there's 12 in here. Yes,
there's 12 in here. Yep.
And 20 on the ledger, and I assume that doesn't include like the soldiers in Crossley, right?
Yeah, that doesn't include the soldiers in Crossley.
All right, so yeah, that'll just eight, like eight, like yeah, we've got people unaccounted for.
So yeah, are you waking them up or disconnecting them in any way, or are you planning on just kind of continuing from here and you'll come back for them?
I pull out I've reached to my trench coat and pull out a blade, and I motion to the rest up. Or, is there a ladder nearby, by any chance?
There isn't a let's see. I think you could like climb up on one of the counters or pull over a chair to get up and cut it off. It's not difficult. You won't need to make a check for it, but there isn't a ladder in here. They seem to have tried to remove as many things that could be used for an escape attempt as possible from the prison.
I'm going to pull up a chair and like slash this thing as much as possible. Not to the point that I've removed everyone, and I will absolutely remove everyone from the attachments, but also to just ruin it.
All right.
I'm going to post up like out of sight of the doorway in, and with as much of an eye as I can. Shotgun, at the ready. Because
all right.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone, put your tokens where you want them when this starts happening, and then we'll kind of go from there.
I guess I'm inside.
Yeah. So you step up, you're over there. And as you slash, like, the tendrils attached to people, like, writhe, and as you deal it a final blow, they all kind of plop out and disconnect as once. As that happens, Muhammad, let's see. At what point will... Who sees it first? Slice in the pie. Muhammad, you see the sporelings are coming. As like from that guardhouse up north, they're racing to investigate what's happening down here. You imagine it's not going to be long before the rest of the soldiers come as well. But the sporelings have definitely started moving first. They haven't noticed you yet, but so you can do non-combat things, before they rush in here, like start rushing over here. But in a moment, we are going to be entering combat.
Okay, he's gonna go ahead and notify the other three of what's coming. So,
All right.
it seems like we have a little bit of company heading this way. You know, little pesky little sporlings. They may be investigating what's just occurred.
Yeah. You see Tyler just stands close a little bit. He seems ready to actually like a little bit ready to sprint. Perhaps an odd thing to do for. But
Do you mean
Makes sense.
Is hiding, I guess? Can I enter hidden state as best I can and pull out my...
Yeah, pulling out your long rifle. All right.
Yeah.
And Henry, as you step down off the table, the bars that you'd use to get up at the thing, the workers are starting to wake up, like jolt awake from the sensation of these things disconnecting from them. They're kind of looking around in confusion, and like a couple of them are like looking at you, who's clearly just killed the ceramide spore, and are kind of thank you, and the others are like looking at the door in horror because they suspect what's about to happen. And with that, we are going to enter combat. So the way combat works in Guns Blazing, you don't roll initiative. It is an alternating activation system. So any player character is going to take a turn, then any NPC or any hostile is going to take a turn, and it's going to go back and forth. On a turn, you spend stamina to perform an action. The standard of that is you spend 3 stamina, and you are going to perform a secondary action, moving, interacting with the environment, searching the area, etc. Generally, moving or anything that requires a non-combat skill check. And you have a primary action, stuff like attacking, dodging, other combat skills. When someone else takes an action, either close to you or that you can see, you get to react. You can spend 1 stamina and do something that is less effective, but still helpful. So you can suppress to give your ally a bonus on a gunfight, or to keep an enemy from intervening in a fight that you don't want them to intervene in, as long as they're not already part of it. You can move, and move just half of your movement speed, etc. You have all the options you would have on your turn, but you're only doing one of them, and if you make a roll as part of it, it is at half strength, and you can basically aid another with the suppress action. Who would like to take this first turn?
would anybody object if I did that?
I don't know.
All right. In that case, I'm gonna do the standard activation. Spend 3 stamina. First, I'm gonna move. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Trigger momentum.
All right.
And
You've got momentum.
I'm going to blast this Sporling directly
All right.
across the face with the shotgun.
All right. The Sporlings are a formation, so they're going to move and act as one. The Sporlings are going to maneuver because they want to try and get both of themselves into melee with you. And the one British soldier who sees oh no, wait, they don't see anything yet. Correction, they're still in the door. They haven't started reacting properly. The Sporlings declare they're going to maneuver. Everyone else gets to also declare a reaction. So if you see the Sporlings, you can suppress and give Obi a bonus die for 1 stamina. Basically, you're firing in that direction, you're helping out. Otherwise, you can spend 1 stamina and just move half your speed to somewhere you want to be for later.
I will suppress, in fact,
All right.
give Obi a bonus die.
Okay, so you're suppressing?
Yep. I'm
And
suppressing.
is anyone else taking a reaction? James or Muhammad and Siyume. Okay, you're good? All right, so Obi, you're making an attack with a bonus die, and they don't get their squad bonus. Or no, they do get the squad bonus because both of them are trying to jump at you. They only succeed on 6s because they are reacting. They're strained.
Okay.
They have no successes.
Okay, I'm initiative 4, combat
Mhm.
2, plus 2d10. Did you say I had a bonus die?
Yep, bonus die from suppression.
Okay, since I'm already rolling 6 dice total, I think that turns one of those d6s into a d10. Yes?
It's if you're rolling 6 d6s total, it would turn a d6 into a d10 instead.
Aha, okay, so what I've got instead is 5d6 and 3d10. Do I have that right?
Yep.
Okay. And because I've got momentum, this attack is heavy. And I've got the short range mastery from this shotgun.
All right.
So I
1,
think,
2, 3, 4 successes, and you can re-roll the ones.
all right, I think I'll do just that. 1d10. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that very much indeed.
Oh, nice. So yeah, you blast both Sporlings as they try to leap at you. You just sprint out the door, run towards them, drop into a slide, and just blast both Sporlings with your shotgun as they try to leap at you, taking them, destroying them utterly. And that is the end of your turn. And on to now we activate an NPC. As we are in a fight. As we're now officially in a fight, there is now a reinforcement clock. Whenever that reinforcement clock fills, that you are going to have more enemies are going to come in from elsewhere on the map. One of these guys peeks out, sees that like there's not just an intruder, they're armed and they've already killed the Sporlings. So these two are going to fire at you from the doorway. And let's check. Oh, that's not what I'm supposed to do.
Oncoming storm. They have they've declared an attack against me, so I can move 2 directly towards them before any checks are made.
All right, and then they're going to start moving away from you.
They have not declared the attack yet, so in that case, I think I don't move.
They attack and then move away, so you do declare that you do move.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. So you move towards them. They're firing. They would normally be 2d. This was close range, so 2d6 plus 1d10. They're a formation. They're a squad of 2, so it's 3d6 plus 1d10 for them instead. And you are strained on your reaction.
They're also at a -2 penalty from speed kills.
So they're down to 1d6 plus 1d10. You're strained on your reaction. None of the rest of you see the soldiers, so you cannot react to this. One of the downsides of rushing in ahead of your allies is that when people attack you from out of their line of sight, they aren't available to help.
It would be a defend action to try and just reduce their successes. Do I have that right?
So maneuver contests them and will reduce their successes. Defend just removes their successes and can refund you the stamina for if you succeed on it. It just doesn't get you anything else.
In that case, maneuver it is.
Okay. They have 1 success. This was not a great roll for them.
And it's initiative plus combat?
Yep, initiative plus combat.
All right, I think that's just 4 and 2. I think I got it. Yep, I think that's...
1 success. Yeah, you're strained, so it's only 6 up, but that's 1 success. Ties go to the initiating character, in this case the attacker, so they have 1 success, and they're going to use that to give you Shaken 1. Basically, your defense is currently reduced by 1 until you can clear that condition.
How dare.
Now, back to a player character turn. Who would like to act next? Go for it.
Great. So, can I move and then rally?
Yes. a standard action is you move and then you do something else. So you can
Alright,
move and
so
then rally.
1, 2. I think that gets me. My movement takes me here. That's what I'm saying. Or
If you have movement 3, yeah. If you have
I'm-
movement 4, you can get one more over. Diagonals just count as 1.
yes, and
All
now
right.
I have line of sight. Can I rally Tyler from here?
Yes,
Or
you
is that-
can.
Nice. So like I whistle in Tyler's direction and point at some of the retreating spoilings, just directing his attention that way. And I have to roll authority and combat, right?
Yep, authority plus combat, and you have options for each success you get. Or, yeah, you can spend the successes you get.
Absolutely. Let's do that right now. So, roll plus 2d10,
Mm-hmm.
and that gets me. Oh, jeez.
I think that is not a failure.
Yeah, that's
Some
6
hit.
successes.
Ooh, that's a lot of success.
This is a good
Oh,
time
so-
to mention that this is all virtual. It's promise it's real.
So yeah, you have plenty of successes. What would you like to? Which of the options in Rally would you like to purchase?
All right.
I make that wall a 0.
Is
No.
there any way to
Hold on.
reduce the effects currently that Tyler's currently facing?
Yes. So one of the effects on Rally should be clear shaken or clear conditions.
Yeah. Also, I have to
Yes.
pay stamina to do this, right? How much stamina should I pay?
Yep. It's 3 stamina whenever you take an action. Whenever you take a full action.
Alrighty. And yes, I've targeted an ally with a rally action, so I can clear one of his conditions right off the way because I have in control as my combat perk.
Yep.
So get rid of that.
Okay, that's. I
Mhm.
think that's all of my status cleared.
And then I have. Do I still have 6 successes, or are we reduced down?
You still have the rest of those successes you can spend. Rally is theoretically very high return, so you can move. So you can move him. You can move him 2. You can give him some stamina, and you can purchase advantages like in Genesis, things you think in this situation that would be great for you to happen for you right now. So for example, maybe those prisoners get up and start moving, like to try and escape on their own, or you could come up with something like.
Could we delay those reinforcements? Delay the clock a little bit?
Absolutely. So you can delay those reinforcements. So the next time for 2 successes, the next time reinforcements would tick, they don't.
Nice. Let's do that. And I think I've got 2 more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Move an extra 2, Tyler. Any direction you feel like.
In that case, let's go around. Let's get up on this corner here.
Excellent.
All right.
I'm also going to pay 1 more stamina and use another one of my playbook perks. Bring it down, targeting that squad and exposing it.
All right. So you point out the squad. They are exposed. That means they don't get any benefits from cover, and anyone shooting at them gets a +1 bonus to hit them.
Nice.
All right. For the next enemy turn, these dudes are going to. So they kind of peel out behind the building over there, and are basically trying to rally their allies, the dudes in the Baradar, over to them, which is not a great roll for them. Because that's 1d10, also 1d10. 1 success. They'll move that squad 2 inches each, or 2 squares each. And yeah, that is the end of their turn. No one was in line of sight of them when they did that, I believe, and no one was in short range of them, so there are no reactions to it. But we're back to a player character turn. Who would- oh.
Is there a way that Sumin can duck in to get eyes on the opponents from where she is?
Absolutely. One moment. Absolutely. So you can move 1, 2, 3. You have no armor, right? So you're at like full
Yep.
speed.
Mm-hmm.
Not that one.
I'd love to
All right,
try
messing
and
with door
activate.
controls.
No problem.
So yeah, you can move 6 squares and then do whatever else you'd like. Which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll get you outside the doorway somewhere. It won't quite get you line of sight. You can then, for your second half, you can just move half your movement speed again and move 3 over somewhere else. So you could like end up behind one of the buildings outside, just so you have cover when people if people come out on the attack. Or you could, just maneuver somewhere else you want to be. It basically means if you move, you will have 9 squares of movement.
I think I will move, and I will, try and move myself towards this building to kind of like
All right.
pin myself
1,
there.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you could end up like over there in 9.
Alright, let me pick up my token. Bloop. Nope. Collides with the
You
wall.
might need to change the token controls back to select rather than measure distance.
It just says I'm colliding
So-
with a wall somewhere. Oh, there it goes.
Does that work for you? All right. Excellent. So we're back over to enemy turns. They are another squad of dudes is going to be moving. I don't think they see anyone quite yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they do. So they move there. One of them sees Henry, the other doesn't. And this is a pretty long-range shot. He has cover. He is going to bet he can move into position without immediately getting pasted. So they're going to move and maneuver, which means you can shoot at them and potentially prevent their movement or hit them. It'll cost you a stamina. And in addition to the very long range of this shot, which is, come on, work with me here. 95 feet, that comes out to almost 20 squares. You'd be in long range properly. You'd only be succeeding on 6s or higher on the die because this is because you are reacting to them. So you know that they're moving and they're intending to move more. You can just let this happen if you decide you're fine with that. Or you can spend a stamina and like take a pot shot at them, get some movement of your own, etc.
Do I know?
Your
I don't
call,
know.
nor to be.
I don't know that they're shooting.
You know that they're not shooting because they declare both paths of their action at once.
Okay. I'm actually. Can I maneuver?
Yep, you can maneuver.
All right, let's maneuver. I'm going to maneuver out of the doorway. I think I can manage how many spaces? Half, right?
Yep, half your movement.
2 brings me here. Oh, well, actually, I think that's 1. Yep, I'll pull over here.
All right, 1, 2. They move up there. So they're still kind of in the open, but they're definitely farther up than they were a minute ago. Oh, there. And back to a player character turn. Who would like to act? So, James, you can take the turn now. Also, you can activate more than once in a turn. As long as you have more than enough stamina to take an action, you can choose to take a player character turn. It's generally a good idea to spread out some of your actions early just so people can get into position to help out. But you can chain turns together if someone has a really good angle or something.
Okay. Yeah, so Mohabba's going to go ahead and proceed to exit the building.
Mm-hmm.
And basically he's going to wait here until he can get vision of someone, and then it's going to start to unleash what he has planned.
So yeah, you have, I believe you have you have a vision to a guy up way northwest of you. It's a very long shot. I think that's going to be 10, 14 squares, so medium range actually.
Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and yeah. So he's gonna take out a hand grenade, unclip the plug, and then basically toss it at that guy.
So this is This is a bad range for hand grenades. So you'd have -2 dice to throw a hand grenade that far, and it would be fairly likely to kind of go off course or otherwise have things go wrong with it. Because that's 70 feet is a huge hand grenade toss. Generally, outside of short range, you'll want to use rifles, and then hand grenades use place explosive, which is its own special action. That means if you move and throw grenade and they shoot at you, you'll get to throw your grenade, but their shot back at you will be unopposed, which isn't necessarily good.
Okay, he's gonna hold on to his hand grenade until they get close, or until he feels
Okay.
like he can toss it
You've
at
got natural projectile, which is a weapon that's going to be good at this range, and if you spend an additional stamina, it'll be using your authority pool, which is your best dice pool.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that then.
All right. So, what is your natural projectile? This is a thing that's like part of you, as part of becoming more like something from the realm of Jinn. You've managed to turn something into basically a living firearm as part of yourself.
Okay, basically, his cane not only doubles as a knife, but he can kind of project kind of like a spirit, you know, like Yu Yu Hakusho, he has a spear gun. He can kind of project something spiritual out of the cane that kind of acts as a bullet and fires at his target.
I love that. That's really nice. Yeah, absolutely. So you're rolling dice equal to your authority plus your combat, which is always 2d10. And this guy's gonna shoot back. There's only one of him, but he is better at long range than he is at short. So he gets 3d6 plus 1d10, only succeeding on 6 or higher. Oh, that's not good. Okay, so the soldier fails everything. You've got 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. That's enough to kill this guy, and also with 2 of your successes, because he was out of cover. And then also you have 3 more successes left to spend on combat advantages or anything else you might want.
Okay. Do I need to use them now, or can I just hold them for...
You need to use them now. You use them when you make the roll.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I have anything that I can do right now to...
So combat advantages, you can think up of something in the environment that would be cool for you or be useful for your side. So a thing is like, you could kind of turn around and blast open the door to the prison cell in there so that the prisoners could run out. You could say that like, you could give yourself an extra 1 square of movement to just reposition yourself a bit. You've got a lot of options for combat advantage.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and burn 1 to move a square.
All right. All right. So if you don't have ideas for it, it's fine to leave them be. But like, generally speaking, if you've ever played Genesis or systems like it, combat advantage lets you do stuff like declare, you know, the lights in that room went out, it'll be harder for them to shoot at us, or it's becoming nighttime properly, so the darkness is going to impede shooting if anyone's not in the bright light on the map, stuff like that.
Okay, I see. Okay, so and you said the prisoners were trapped in the cell?
Yeah, the prisoners are still in their cell. They're not like moving yet.
Okay, is this a single door or it's multiple doors?
It's a single door. Like, you open the one on the way in, so.
Okay, he's gonna go ahead and take another burn another one to take a shot at it again.
All right, so you can just spend two of the advantages and say the prisoners are free and they're trying to move out of here.
Yep. And he's gonna go ahead and direct them to get on out of here.
All right, so the prisoners start moving, and soon enough, let's make another clock for that. You guys can put successes into the prisoner escape clock, and if you manage to fill that without anything going horribly wrong, then the prisoners manage to escape just fine and get out of here. I'm going to say that is... Oh, nope. I'm going to say that is 4 section, and at any point you can pop 2 successes into to increase the prisoner escape clock by 1, just representing like they're headed for the door, they're like evading the security guard who's out there, stuff like that. With that,
narrative advantages do not apply during combat at all. Is that correct?
Yeah, narrative perks don't apply in combat.
Okay.
Narrative perks don't apply. The ones that give you like +1 to a stat still do. Your stat is still higher, but the like stuff like but generally speaking, they're not going to apply in combat. If there's a situation where it makes sense for them, you can suggest them and maybe it'll come up. But by default, that's going to be the case, that narrative perks aren't going to have effect in combat.
Okay. I think that covers the next question. So please continue.
Okay, so that's that. That's the end of your turn. So we're on to the enemies. As that squad took a casualty, these 2 squads of infantry are going to link up and become... Oh, no, that makes all of them move at once. That's not ideal. This guy's moving up to... fire from that corner. This one's moving up to this corner to fire from it. And the last dude's moving there to cover them. So, with this guy here and this there, both Muhammad and Henry see these 2 local soldiers just kind of rounding the corner, raising their rifles, and barking orders for you to surrender as they move and shoot, targeting both of you.
Mohammed and Henry, or they don't see Suman, right?
Not yet. No.
They don't see you yet. You're still hidden. You went into hidden state before this, so
Sick.
they have to spend an action searching for you, even if they get line of sight.
Is there any way I can make sure that they only target me? Like step in front of Muhammad?
During their turn, no. During your turn, you could. But during their turn, their weapons are... each weapon has a burst. That's how many people you can target at once with it.
Of course. Can I defend?
You can defend. Defend will let you protect yourself pretty well.
All right, let's do that. That's authority and combat, right?
All right. Yep. So you're defending. James, what is Muhammad up to in here?
That's a great question.
So you can shoot back. You can, by default, which is you're going to use the relevant weapon stat for it. You can defend, which is just going to be authority plus combat, but you don't get any combat advantages or mess with them because of it. It's just you have a good pool for defending yourself, and you can regain stamina if you win hard enough. Or you can dodge, which is going to be your initiative pool. It'll be the short range dice pool on your sheet. But if you succeed, you can move.
Okay, Muhammad's just going to go ahead and fire back.
All right. Do you want to spend the additional stamina to fire back with your authority, so you're using your natural projectile again?
Yeah.
And that you use your discipline pool to attack. It should be marked as your discipline pool on your sheet. Cool. And they're shooting at 4d10 or 4d6, not 4d10. Plus 1d10. Oh, that seems like a significant... Oh, geez. 2, 4, 6, 8 successes for them. That's a very good roll on their part. So let's see. Henry's canceling 2 of those successes, so they have 4. James, what's your roll?
Don't I cancel 3
sorry?
because I rolled 1, 4, and 110. Isn't that three?
So because you're reacting, this roll is strained. That means
Ah.
6 or higher succeeds.
6 or higher succeeds. Understood.
It's why they wiped one of their earlier rolls trying to defend themselves and immediately took a casualty. And that's 1 success for Muhammad. So you cancel 2, you cancel 1. They have 6 on you, 4 on you. So they're going to spend 4 successes and iterate this. I have to click on it here. They're going to iterate the reinforcement clock, canceling your block on it from earlier and increasing it by 1. And they're going to deal an injury to both of you. As they open fire, both of you take shots. Both of you take shots from them as they get into position and fire on you. But that is the end. That is the end of their turn. Which PC would like? Oh yeah, sorry. Go for it.
I would like to activate one of my perks. It won't die. I'm impossibly durable, and when I take an injury, I immediately regain that injury.
Absolutely. So you regain that injury immediately?
And them seeing that means they take a -1 penalty to authority checks for the rest of the round.
Excellent. So they see that, they open fire, they hit you solidly, you don't react to it, and you see both of them visibly just start freaking out. As like, I hit him, he's not down! Keep shooting, I am! And they're visibly panicking as they are waiting for, as they're expecting you to die and you refuse to. With that in mind, PC slot, who would like to act?
Would anybody
would.
object if... Oh, okay. Oh.
If it's all right, if I could drop out of, I would like to try and activate Ambush Predator on these.
Absolutely. So on your turn, when you move and attack them, you can just activate Ambush Predator activates automatically.
Sick. There's no way I can climb onto the roof of this building, is there?
You can. Climbing is just half your normal movement speed, so you can. 3 squares will get you up on top of that building.
Sick. I
All
can't
right.
physically move my token on top of it, but we can just pretend.
It's going to put you inside of the building if you move on top of it. So for the best not to. But yeah, you climb onto the building. You can see. So from the top of the building, you can see both of them, and you can see all the way over to the left, where there's another lit building over there. You can see through the windows a couple of British soldiers, and outside of it on the left, there's a mech. There's a small mech, open top, that doesn't currently have a pilot in it, but it looks like they've spotted the commotion. But you can see them through the window. I'm assuming you're shooting at the soldiers.
Yep.
Or the dudes who you're currently in a gunfight with.
There's no way I can shoot and damage the mech that's outside of that building from here. is
You
there?
absolutely can. Mechs are pretty durable, and it'll alert those soldiers to what's going on immediately, but you absolutely can shoot that mech.
Yeah, they are already aware that there's they can hear that there's noise outside.
Yeah, they can hear that there's a gunfight, so they're going to be reacting. Just they are the reinforcements from the reinforcement clock, basically.
Okay.
So if you shoot at them, they'll join in immediately. But until then,
You know what? I'll just pass on the information that there's a mech over that way. Just like
all right.
mech and British soldiers that way, and then just fire at the guys who are in the gunfight and pew 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 pew, die die.
Arg.
All right. So, the gunfighters are now. They have 1 reaction left, so they're going to shoot back at you. What's the distance to them? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're at medium range. So you're using you're using your long range dice pool, and because you have Ambush Predator, they lose 2 dice shooting back at you. So they go 2d6 plus 1d10.
Mastery on my next check.
They have 1 success.
Haha. Ooh. what do I roll anything opposed to that success, or is it just
Yeah, your dice pool your attack opposes it. So you roll your attack, and all the successes on that are going to oppose their dice pool.
So it is my patience plus my combat?
Combat.
Alright,
Yep.
so 2d10. Sick.
Yep.
5d6 plus 2d10, because your girl took an upgrade to patience.
All right.
3 successes, I guess. Or 4.
Oh yeah,
Five
1, 2, 3. You have mastery on your next check from Ambush Hunter, right? So you
Yes.
can reroll all 4 of those ones. So you roll 3d6
Yeah.
and 1d10 and try to convert those.
Absolutely. I can type. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Another 4 successes off of that.
Okay, so that's up to 4, 5, 6, 7 successes. They cancel 1, so 6 successes. What is the burst on your Jazale?
2.
So you can kill both of both of them are in cover. So yeah, you can kill both of them with 6 successes and have nothing left over, or you can kill one of them and have something left over you might want to use if you have something for elsewhere.
I could just delete them both.
All right,
Goodbye.
bam, delete. All right, that is the end of your player turn. Does anyone? So when you do that, your allies all see you because you got up on that roof. Do any of them want to react to that with, say, maneuver? It's a bit late to do suppression, and we've learned that suppression is wholly unnecessary. But learning about the mech that might be coming in later, would you like to be somewhere else?
Yeah, I think I would like to maneuver.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead, pick that one stamina.
Mhm.
And that's initiative plus combat. Or that's,
Because you're not opposed, you don't need to roll it. You just move half your speed.
oh, fantastic.
You'll need to roll if someone's like shooting at you or otherwise trying to stop you moving.
Okay.
All right. Enemy slot. The surviving hidden member of that squad is out of actions, so we're going to secretly move the reinforcement clock forward. So, someone you don't see activates. You hear and the reinforcement clock progresses. You hear a bunch of commotion, both from that building that Su Min pointed out to everyone, and from the Baradar up at the top.
Great.
All right, back to player slots. You know there's one more of these guys down here with you behind that building, and then there are the incoming reinforcements you're going to have to deal with later, and the escapees are still kind of slowly working their way out of the way.
The
I think
the reinforcements are coming from this building from the north, right?
Yeah, both from the north and the northwest. So there are 2 buildings where potential reinforcements are coming from.
Do you mind if I take this?
Go for it.
Yeah, go.
Unless.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4. I think brings me here,
All right.
and I'm going to just take out a grenade and lob it into that building.
All right. So roll your initiative plus combat. The
Mhm.
way grenades work is instead of doing like opposed checks and the like, if you get at least when you get 2 successes, you can choose that it lands where you want it to. For 1 more success, it explodes when you want it to, and then anything bonus just reduces the ability of enemies to react to it and makes it more dangerous to do that.
I like those odds.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that is this is not strained, right?
This is normal.
Okay, so
Six.
that is 6 successes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
6 successes on 5 dice. Nice. So you fling it into the building. It bounces around in there. That guy's out of reactions. And then you hear a moment later, there's an explosion and a yell, and this dude is dead. And now, let's see. So because you've cleared the field, the reinforcement clock is going to fill, but we can basically treat this as like the end of a round where you guys can move around a bit, to, like reposition as you'd like, within reason, before the next group of enemies starts getting close enough to make this complicated again. So where would you like to go? You know, eventually something's going to be coming down from the Dardar and Baradar, and you'll have the entire you'll have that entire deal with Dara. Why am I so bad at pronouncing Dardabar or Baradari? Why am I so bad at pronouncing that at the moment?
It happens.
You know that something's coming down from the Baradari, and you'll have that mech and those other soldiers coming in from the other angle.
Are there any soldier uniforms that don't look too destroyed?
Yeah, both of those guys who got killed by sniper shots, they're those are pretty clean headshots.
Time enough to change?
It'll be difficult. I'd say you can make the attempt. It's going to be like difficulty 5 or so to try and change quickly enough and convincingly enough to like slow someone down when they come out and see all of you.
Sure.
Okay. The question. I have narrative perk improvise. Whenever a clock starts or fills, gain 2 improvise tokens. If I throw in on this, can I essentially like use that to
yeah, you could absolutely provide the mastery dice from improvise as helping to on this.
Yes, that I would like to do that.
All right. So you're going to be rolling. I'm going to say authority plus or initiative plus espionage. You're trying to move really quickly here, Nordine, and you're adding a d6 to that from the bonus from your buddy.
All right. It's 1d10 for the espionage, another d6. Can I add another d6 for the speedy hands that I shall?
Absolutely.
So that's 5d6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, not the wrong. There we go. 2 successes, 3 successes, 4 successes, 5 successes.
Hey, you make it. So yeah, you're in a kind of beaten but functional Hyderabad uniform. You kind of stashed the corpse, and as you do, you see 2 things come down this way. So around, let's do the less concerning one first. You see a group of British soldiers. The rest of you should probably arrange yourselves so you're not immediately visible to them. So let's say get into a building or something so this isn't spoiled immediately. Get into or behind a building, and Su Min is fine where she is because she can just press herself down against the roof. So yeah, you see 2 British soldiers escorting a light cavalry mech. You recognize the pilot of the cavalry mech. Mr. Kipling is in it, just kind of bumbling his way down through the kind of nice underbrush, leading these soldiers in as he looks around and is like, "What's going on here?"
I'm gonna.
Henrik?
Yeah. I told you it was in the same area. Oh, you look bad.
Are
look worse.
you okay? That looks you've been shot.
Yeah, I have been. They went north, past the building.
Oh well, and then coming out from the north, you see a massive Aramite creature, what's called an Umacetic grenadier. It's this enormous 4-legged thing with pincer-like limbs. One arm ends in this enormous mushroom shield. The other in what's technically like kind of a spore projector, but is generally called a spore grenade launcher by people who fought them before. It's 8 feet high or so and is kind of bursting its way down, crawling past the ruined bunkhouse, and riding on its shoulder is a very like proper looking British man in like a uniform, who's looking around askance at all of this violence and bloodshed, and looks your way and says, "Soldier, report! What on earth is happening here?"
They came to free the prisoners, and then, they shot at us, threw a grenade into that building, and then they went north on the other side.
I just came down from the north. What do you mean they went north?
Opposite
This
side
is
of
going
the building. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, yeah, go.
Opposite
keep
side of the
going for
building. Yeah. What kind
All
of...
right. All right. So as let's see. So you're saying that you're going to need to make a hell of a deception check to get through with this clean, but if you manage it, you're out. You're home free. So I'm going to say that the good Mister is going to oppose you on this. Where is his stat line? It's here.
He doesn't need that.
So the good Mr. Crossley is opposing you here, but you have the bonus die from you have the bonus die because Mr. Kipling likes you and is inclined to believe you when you say you've been hurt in service of the crown.
Indeed.
Additionally, one more question. As improvised is written, there are 2 improvised tokens, both of which can be like cashed in. Would the second one be available?
What do you want to do with it? Like, how is you improvising going to help this?
I'm already in this building. I'll just and I've got a sidearm here. I'm gonna fire it, make a loud unprompted noise to support the idea. This enemy is entirely escaped their notice and is actively doing awful hostile things inside their base to the north.
All right. So this is his check. You pass he has 5 successes, but you have the bonus from Mr. Kipling believes you, and you have the bonus from improvise, which is a D10 or mastery, your choice. But this is definitely going to be initiative plus your choice of command or espionage.
I will take espionage. Here's a question.
Yeah.
I have a perk called Take Me to Your Leader. When I can make a command check that requires the clock to tick to resolve, I gain mastery on the check and instead resolves immediately. Is the campaign clock gonna tick?
Yeah, if you manage to get these guys to leave, like to let you go, the campaign clock would tick as you escape the fort. So yeah, absolutely. You can get mastery on the check, and so the improvised token would instead be providing you a D10 on this. And you can reroll all 1s or all failed dice.
Absolutely. I'm also going to invoke the Chameleon of London, one of my aspects. But I'm out of dice because I'm at 6 dice total, so I believe one of my D6s instead turns into a D10.
Yep, that's correct.
Here we are. I can reroll 1s or I can reroll failed D10s. It depends upon what we see here. We have
1, 2, 3, 4.
Is this a strain check?
No, this is a normal check. You just need you need 1 more success, converting that.
Let's roll
So
a
you
D10
probably
then.
want to reroll the D10 because it has better odds. No. Oh, let's see. So you're down by 1 success against them. Yeah. So they don't buy, or at least I'm going to say.
If I actually invoke my aspect for 2, like I can invoke my aspect twice with a consequence. Well,
yeah.
What would the
what do you want
second
the consequence
invocation
to be? It would give you a bonus D10. Like if you already have mastery, it would give you a D10.
Oh, yeah. I don't mind rolling one of those. Rolling as a D10.
Oh, wait. Shouldn't you be 5d6 and 3d10 because you're going over the 66 limit, or did I misinterpret how that does?
No,
Yeah.
you're right. It should be. I should have rolled 2 more D6s. That's my bad.
Yep. Okay, so roll 2d6s right now and see how they go. Well, you can re-roll the 1 because you had mastery and this was part of the initial roll.
Okay.
Yeah, I think reroll
Yeah.
the 1, but you've got 2 dice to reroll.
Yeah, that gets you over the 5.
Jeez.
So it's 5. It's a tie. You win by 1. And so yeah, they buy it but barely. They make you come with them, and like you head north. And then let's see. Tyler has to basically run off and escape you and the others chasing him, while Yumin and what was it? While Yumin and Muhammad escort the prisoners out and get them free. The good news is you managed to get out, having at least greatly hurt. You've greatly hurt and exposed this project, even if you haven't ended it permanently. By the end of the night, you end up. Let's see. Yeah, by the end of the night, Tyler escapes and regroups with the others at Sama's. Henry Kamal is brought in for like questioning of what happened, what were you into the fort for, what was your job here, etc. But like within a few hours, within a day or so, that's suddenly a secondary problem. Is all of these escaped prisoners start telling their stories, start saying that there were more people still stuck in there, and there are enormous protests in the streets as the British come in, as the tales of what's been happening at Golconda Fort and the desecration of a pretty loved historic monument hits the airwave. It's maybe not it isn't a perfect clear, but you've managed to save a bunch of people and at least stymie the British operation here and whatever Crossley was planning at Golconda Fort. With that, let's do our proper outro. Let's do our outros. So in reverse order, from the bottom of chat to the top, who are you? Where can we find you? And who did you play? Nordine.
Hi, my name is Nordine Al-Kadir. My pronouns are he, him, and today I played Henry Kamal Gray, the Anglo-Desi captain, fighting for the resistance against, well, you know who against. You can find me online at Werewolf Fields, pretty much everywhere werewolves can be found, which is surprisingly more places than you would think, and I'm playing games, writing games, and designing games all over the interwebs. I cannot talk about the latter two just yet because of certain NDAs, but if you want to see me play a Starfinder game as an Efreet, you might want to check out The Atomless, which is both a podcast and a live AP. You can find the live AP over on The Atomless Podcast's YouTube, but you can also check out our podcast version, which is tightly edited for some of that extra energy.
Excellent. Obi.
Hello, and sooner or later, goodbye. I am Obadiah. You can find me out and about on the internet at Josadison on Twitter. That's JOSADISON. And soon and very soon, I just might start streaming a recently released game on Twitch here. We'll see. In any case, keep your eyes out at twitch.tv/Shinaobi. That's SHINAOBI. Thank you all.
All right, James. Oh, sorry.
No. Terribly long-winded, but less so was Tyler D. Pinateca, who has just gotten a lot of fantastic cardio today, representing Mysora on behalf of the Comanche Federation.
All right.
Okay, so my name is James. You can find me anywhere on the internet at J2Rudo. You can even find me streaming on my personal channel on Twitch or on the official Smite Gaming channel page on Twitch. I'm also part of a couple of TTRPG projects that are being dropped in a couple of weeks, so be on the lookout on my social medias for that. And tonight I played Muhammad Adisa, Mr. Explodey Boy, who's kind of disappointed he didn't do much Explodies, but next time. Thanks for having me.
And Darby.
Hello, hi, my name is Darby, otherwise known as Chaotic Darby on the internet. I am a TTRPG performer, streamer, possum, and all-around menace on the web. You can find me under Chaotic Darby almost anywhere you can find handles to be had, but primarily Twitch, Twitter, Tumblr, I guess, is a thing. When I'm not here playing in this wonderful game, you can find me as the community manager of TTRPG, spelled TEATRPG. And also on Neon Lights Roleplay every other Wednesday, and the First Watch channel on YouTube. All those places I can be found playing stuff and doing things. Otherwise, I am also a fledgling game designer, so you should follow my social media to see updates on that.
All right, and I am Bashir Gauss, your host and game master. You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/Bashir Gauss. And of course, the game we've been playing is Guns Blazing, a game of my own creation set in an alternate 1925, where Jinn walk the earth and quite a lot of people have monsters, literal and political, to fight to the last breath. Or in this case, trick, and then escape with as many survivors as possible. Thank you all for listening, and keep an eye out for the Guns Blazing Kickstarter going live on March 28th. You can check that out at kickstarter.com/gunsblazing.